Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. You are on to the program where we review major news that made the headlines across southern Nigeria in the past week. My name is Amzat.
And I'm Louis. Thank you for staying tuned to our program for today. Just sit back and relax while we give you our top news review for the week.
IGP Olatunji Disu have inaugurated the State Police Committee.
Yeah. Well, it's something we've all clamored for. It's something we've all geared towards. We've all been talking on police decentralization. So, trying to look at community policing, bringing policing nearer to the people. Increased vigilance in our neighborhoods. So that has always been a problem because we've discovered that we are having a porous. You see, it's just like our borders. I don't know how to put it now because just like anybody can just enter into the states. People come in, go out unchecked, no security, background check, no neighborhood watch. These things have been on the low. So this idea of state policing is going to really help because it will decentralize the policing system and also ensures that people at the locality get first top-notch security assistance from the police. And apart from that, Tunji Disu has been able to set up a committee which is headed by Professor Ola Ogunsanki, who is a director in the National Institute of Police Studies. So that is a security expert. And among the members, we have some DCPs and ACP and even a commissioner as well, who is also part of the board. So now they are all trying to see how they can look at the operationalization of the state policing and also the implementation. So this is very important because these trained security experts are going to see how they can compare policing systems with what you have in civilized crimes.
Exactly.
And how state policing can really work functional, can really be at its best, you understand, and ensure that there's no competition between the federal security force and that of the state policing force. So these are the areas that are going to be looked at. So I would say I commend the IG because he just came in and in a very short time it's already starting something great. It's something Nigerians have really yearned for, and this is going to really bring a great sigh of relief. It's going to help. It's going to be of tremendous benefit to the people.
Yeah, of course, like you said, tremendous benefit to the people, considering the fact that in the course of our review last week, we talked about the state police.
Yeah.
Then we call on the new IGP, talking about Olatunji Disu, to ensure that they talk about state police come into fusion. And it's as if they were listening to us. And one of the first tasks was to constitute that committee on state police. And it's a welcome one. And we should be happy about it because it shows seriousness. It shows that they are ready to fully decentralize Nigerian policing system. Now the people, wherever they are in Nigeria, any state they are, they can be able to police themselves. I mean, recruiting from the state and allowing the people to police their borders, to police their various locality. Because like you mentioned, you talked about the porous borders, people moving in and out. So I think with the state police, those such movement can be checked, especially in those communities bordering other states. And let's not forget the rising security from the north that is gradually crippling to the south through the southwest. And we know the challenge, and that makes the call for state police one to look at. and the setting of the committee to be a welcome one. And the full implementation or coming on board on state police will go a long way in checking crimes and criminality. Because like I highlighted in our last episode of our week review, remember I talked about the people are well abreast about their themselves, about their culture, about their own locality. So whenever there is any what we call a security concern or security breach anywhere, they already know how best to approach it. And let's not forget that this state police will not be left in the hands of the state governors, which many fear. They may introduce what they call personal interest. They will use their powers to use the police to their own selfish advantage. So from the arrangement so far, it is clear that the federal government still hold a huge stake in terms of oversight when it comes to the operations of state police. I think it's a good one. It's a good one because that will go a long way in checking abuse of power. And let's not forget that in the same week under review, the Nigeria Police Council, headed by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, talking about President Bola Tinubu, formally confirmed the appointment of the current IGP, talking about Olatunji Disu, which formally substantiates his appointment as the 23rd Inspector General of Police in Nigeria. So I think in all, talking about the State Police Committee and the confirmation of Olatunji Disu, I think it's a welcome one. It further shows that the federal government is rising to the occasion as regarding the rising case of insecurity across the country, as per giving the policing power back to the people. So like I said, it's a welcome development and to go a long way in checking crime and criminality across the country. Also, in the week under review, Anambra State recovered 10 oil wells from Delta State.
When you hear issues like this, I'll first to start with, I'll say congratulations to the people of Anambra State, because something new, in fact, something great has just happened today, because ordinarily they are now included. Yes, they've been included as it stands now. So since the oil wells have been ceded to them, so that is a good one. Well, first of all, we see, like we're going to say, so when this review is something I would say, it's just like it's not just more of a review. It's kind of, I really need to really applaud the Anambra State. You know, if you look at that, the person of Charles Ofuegbu, Professor Charles Ofuegbu, who happens to be the managing director of the Anambra Solid Minerals Development Company. You see, when it comes to mineral resources, you see, having having a body like that and having a person of a status to manage that kind of office, you know, they've already seen something. They've already seen the future, and they are using that company very well, because if you look at, they also working on bentonite. They're also trying to create modular refineries which will produce diesel, even apart, not just for Anambra State but also for neighboring states. So the production capacity will even be able to get to the neighboring states. So I would say the government, they are really trying when it comes to mineral resources. You know, they are trying to see how they can fill in the space. So they are really doing well. So for that reason, I would say today, thanks to the ROMAFC, the Revenue Mobilization Allocation Fiscal Commission, who were able to carry out the verification because it became an issue. So because something of such nature, something of such value, it has to, there must be clamor, there must be heated, probably there must be, it's just like a tussle.
Yeah, they will fight what
Yeah,
belongs to them.
you have to fight with us, knowing fully well that that is a honey pot,
Yeah.
which means Anambra State as it stands, they are going to be expecting more revenue. So that means Anambra State will have more money for infrastructural projects and for social protection and all that. So it's a good one, and I really commend the Anambra State government, and I also commend the federal government for being able to see how this issue can be resolved amicably. And from the reports, already the oil wells now belong to Anambra State. I've seen the federal government have done well, and the Anambra State government, they've also done very well. So it's a good one.
It's a good one because, like you rightly said, when the revenue mobilization and fiscal committee are through with their final verification, then Anambra will be receiving more and more revenue, and they will have more money, more revenue for more developmental projects. And like you said, it's not an easy feat, and it was not easy getting to this stage today, because if you recall, last year, Anambra made it to the list of oil producing states in Nigeria, starting with about 3,000 barrels per day. And with this new development, I think the governor will be somewhere celebrating, because it is clear that in any moment from now, you will begin to see the springing up of modular refineries and other
It's already planning one.
good one. So then other industries that depends on petroleum products. So it's a good one for Anambra State. It's a good one for the people, because I think this one news we always want to hear, that the state is being given what rightly due them, because it will go a long way in contributing to the development of the state. Because here we are talking about more infrastructure, we'll be talking about more job creation, we'll be talking about more revenue, we're talking about more increase in the gross domestic product of the state, and that is a contribution to the national economy.
Yeah.
So it's a welcome development anyway. So once again, we say congratulations to the people of Anambra State. Also, in the week under review, Rivers Assembly inaugurates elected lawmakers, the screen commissioners nominee.
This on this particular one, I don't think there's something much to say or even something to say, because this is no longer a news, and I believe recent it has been Rivers State in the news. So
For the wrong reasons.
I think we have to cut the slack now. But nonetheless, whichever way it goes, the two new
Elected
lawmakers have just been curated into the House. So I would say it's a good one, because it shows peace is gradually returning to. It shows the state is back to work, and unlike it was before. So
Yes.
I believe this is time for the people of Rivers State to experience that developmental stride, or to feel the impact of that developmental stride that the government has promised. A lot of projects that ought to have kicked off, but due to the turbulence or the
Political turmoil,
turmoil, these things have in fact the people have it has eluded the people. So I think it's time for the people to get back what belongs to them. So I'm happy for the people of Rivers State.
Yes, ordinarily, like you started with, we're not supposed to talk much about this, because the Rivers State House of Assembly have been in the news. All this why we review the news from the southern part of Nigeria. It always be the news, always for the wrong reason. But good that now we are hearing another tune. We are hearing another news, which is a good news, a positive development, talking about the House of Assembly once again working with the executive led by Siminalayi Fubara, talking about the governor of Rivers State. Let's not forget that before now there was this by-election that took place right there at Auda Istu constituency and Kana 2 constituency right there, Rivers State 2. So I think it was right for the people, talking about our viewers out there, to really understand that yes, the election was held on the 21st of February last month. So in the course of the week, the two lawmakers talking about Napoleon Kulikwe and Henrietta Bilibari Lulu of Kana 2 constituency and Napoleon Kulikwe of Oda East 2 constituency to be inaugurated in the week under review. Also, the commissioner-nominee were invited by the assembly to come over for screening. So that's what I confirmed, that Rivers State is back to the path of peace. Courtesy intervention of the president, talking about Bola Tinubu. And let's not forget, we're talking about ADC, the party secretariat, the hometown of Rotimi Amechi was razed down, was burned down by political talks. So we think that should not come up, that should not be, because Rivers State is just healing from the political crisis that have set the state back since 2023. So we think we should not continue from there. So like we are saying here, it's time for all political actors to sheathe their sword and continue in that path of peace that have been broken out by the president, talking about Bola Tinubu, because Rivers people are tired. Rivers people cannot continue in such a negative trajectory, which will not serve them any good. In Osun, INEC clears 14 political parties, excluding PDP, Labour Party, for the forthcoming gubernatorial election.
Now, with that report, or rather with that news making the rounds of PDP and Labour Party not being part of the names released by INEC. So first of all, what should come to your mind? Or what many Nigerians will, first of all, for some Nigerians, they will want to be political with the truth. While for some, they want to know what transpired, which every sane person would do. Because according to the reports by INEC, the party, Labour Party and PDP were not able to meet up with the electoral requirements due to issues, discrepancies within the party. So ordinarily, what would you expect INEC to do? So every party has been briefed before now. So for your party to still be fighting over who is going to represent them, or not having this, having a chairman or someone who supersedes over the affairs, that's not the problem of the INEC. So what happened due to conditions which the parties, yes, it's an eternal party crisis. So it's about them. So INEC has to carry on go on with the election, and the country must move forward regardless of whose horse is God. So that is what it is, and we just have to accept it as it is, because it's not the fault of the INEC or not the fault of the government. So it is an eternal issue within the party which led to the
disqualification.
Yes, which led to their disqualification. So that is what it is. So the country must move on.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
Exactly, because like you said, we don't really need to dwell much on this when it as regard politics, because most time we always read political meanings to these things.
Yeah.
But if you recall, before the by-election right there in Rivers State, talking about Awoda East to Kana 2 constituencies. In the course of that election last month, February 21st, if you remember, PDP was not there, ADC was not there, Labour Party was not there. But these are the main parties that form the main oppositions today in Nigeria, and they are not there. So who are we expecting to hold the government accountable? So what we are trying to say here is that political parties should ensure to put their house in order. They should put their house in order, because it's only political parties that put their house in order that can be able to produce a candidate that will stand for an election, because it is the candidates that they present to INEC that INEC will screen, that INEC will scrutinize to see if they meet the requirement to stand for the election that they are going to conduct. But you see, political parties, they fight among themselves, they have issues among themselves, they will go to court, they will not resolve these issues, but they want INEC to do magic. So I think it's high time our political parties, they sit up, because as it stands today in Nigeria, we need political parties that can really act as opposition, that can really keep the ruling parties on their toes, not one that could not even produce a candidate to contest for a major election, as an House of Assembly election and a governorship election. And talking about the coming 2027 election, who knows if they are going to have a candidate that will contest for that presidential election? Because as it stands today, they are still struggling. They are still struggling when it comes to court issues. So I just hope that before the 2027 election proper, all whatever challenges they may have right there within their party, talking about whether it's ADC, whether it's Labour Party, whether it's PDP, whatever opposition, whatever political parties, whatever internal crisis they have, they should ensure that they resolve it before the 2027 election proper, because we want all political parties that are registered by INEC to contest in that election. We don't want any political party, we don't want any candidate shut out, because INEC is ready to accommodate all, and all should ensure that they put their house in order, so that we can have a better electoral system going forward. We should not dream about it. We should be able to achieve it.
Let's not forget the candidates. As it stands now in Osun State, we have three major parties that are contesting for this election as it stands now, which is APC, the candidates for the governorship candidates that was produced by the APC is a person of Bola Oyebamiji. And we have for Accord, who happens to be for the deputy for Bola Oyebamiji is Adireti. He was a former candidate for the federal constituency. Now we also have the incumbent, which is the person of Senator Ademola Adeleke. Yes, with Adusi, he's a deputy. Good. And for ADC, we have the Najim Salam, and so he was a former lawmaker in Osun State. So I would say, and there's something about that ADC, at least he has this gender inclusivity, because he has a female deputy, so that's a good one too for gender inclusivity. So those are the candidates for the Osun State governorship election. Those are the three major parties contesting at the moment.
Good one, because like we are advocating, we want a level playing field. That whichever political party that have been cleared to contest for the election should be given a level playing field, not should be shut out. Lastly, in Edo governor moved to break BDC monopoly, joins protesters in Edo.
You see, Hamzat, that news, when I saw that news that very day, I didn't know. In fact, I was just short of words, because seeing the governor protesting with protesters, I don't know. I was like, first thing that came to my mind, how is this really going to solve the problem? But probably, like he said, it was a march of solidarity, but I believe he can still do a whole lot without solidarity
Protest.
protest. So he doesn't need to be at that kind of gathering. For me, I didn't really like that, but
That's showmanship.
yeah, so it's not necessary. It's not necessary. And again, looking at the BEDC, in fact, a lot of persons during the protest they express their grievances. Some talk about the metering problem, bad metering in terms of the
Talking
metering
about
system
yes,
is a bit not
estimated
okay.
estimated
I talk
billing.
about estimated billing, and so talk about not having prepaid meters
Meters.
even after they've paid. And also, I heard that the State House of Assembly have given a BDC MD March 9 or so for him to
Appear.
appear before the assembly, and according to what I heard from the report, the members, also the assembly members, were not happy based on the fact that some of the transformers that were given as constituency projects are still yet unenergized. You know, that's part of the reasons he's been called to appear before the House. I believe when he appears before the House, he's going to give the House the reason why Edo State in fact have been bedeviled with this erratic power condition, the power supply we find ourselves. No lights for days, and people are just seeing it as normal, as it's normal, but it's not really good because it's bad for business, and people are passing through a whole lot. People are passing through a whole lot, even while government cannot give you water, people have not been able to provide
For
boreholes.
themselves.
They cannot even power this borehole
To
with
pump water.
So even the power to even power the electricity to power the borehole is not even there, causing more hardship. People now carry rubbers on their head to go find water. So it's like we are going back. We are going back to 30 years. So what's going on? So a country like Nigeria is supposed to be moving forward. I don't want to know is this they are going through reforms and all of that. So please, that shouldn't be part of it, because I know year in year out billions are being appropriated
The power sector.
to this sector. So it's not really. I understand that it has been decentralized now. Power has been decentralized, but despite that fact, I believe now our state governments, they now have to put in all their best to ensure they come up with something, because especially the state governor, he should look for ways how he can tackle this system. He should be very brutal with it. When I mean brutal, because it affects
Decisive.
it affects every part of the society.
Exactly.
So he should be very, very brutal with this and ensure there should not be any move out, like he talked about solidarity march. It's not necessary at this time. What we need is action. This decision, tough decision taken to ensure that the much needed change is felt, or rather is seen by the people. So that's what we should be looking at, because I know we will not be facing this erratic power supply we are facing. There's no way it's going to feel it like we're feeling it.
Exactly.
Because at the government house, I believe there's
247,
so it's not feeling what we're feeling. I believe the commissioners, none of them are going through what we are going through now. You see small business owners who are managing to meet up, they now use all their profits to buy fuel for their generator. So
to maintain their generator.
It's really sad. We at this point where fuel is sold at over 1,000, close to 1,000 naira for a liter. So imagine that buying 5 liters, 10 liters every day. How much is the person making for profit? As profit for his or her business. So it's really sad. It's really sad. The government should really expedite action and ensure
Exactly.
they carry out all that is necessary.
Exactly like you said, because what we need is not solidarity. What we need is action in Edo.
Yes, ma'am.
What we need is 247 electricity. After all, electricity is not free.
Yeah.
What we need is a government that is responsible to the people, a government that is proactive, not reactive, because during that protest, you were reacting to the protest. You were not joining protesters. Instead of you to hide your head in shame that the people you are leading are out there complaining about no electricity. when we all know that in the course of your electoral campaign, you promised to provide power, and you were elected in 2024. This is 2026. Nothing has been done in the power sector. The only decision you make in the power sector was to cancel the contract the state government have with what Osun Power, and you see that further set us aback and went back to BEDC that have not done Edo any good. That Edo people have already sent packing from their house, from their mind, even if they still manage to connect to the distribution company. So I think those advising the governor are not doing any good. Because remember the last time I said I talked about I made reference to the former governor of Anambra State, who said the best advice he have ever received was from a madman. And I said I don't want to believe that it is a madman or madmen that are advising the governor of Edo State, talking about Monday Okpebholo. Because as it stands, he's supposed to know that Osun is a private entity. It's a private firm. Osun have already come to do what? Break the monopoly of BEDC. So for him to have come to have been telling Edo people that he wants to break the monopoly of BEDC, is as if the governor is not in tune with reality. Because what we really need in Edo is for more of Osun power plants. We want more private investors like Osun, so that we Edo people will have options.
We thought we ought to be there by now.
Of course.
Adding another one.
Thank you. Of course. And more solar farms. Like the one we discussed offset. I talked about having solar farms across in Teboga Road, in straight to Upper Mission Extension.
There's a lot of space there.
A lot of space. You look for a place for more solar farms, so that Edo people can have options. People will no more rely on one particular electricity distributor like BEDC that have become an enemy to small business owners.
Every community,
because if you recall,
with solar farms.
Of course, because I don't see any reason why the governor at this time will come outside and be telling us how to break the monopoly. I want to invite more electricity. Is it because of the protests you are now coming out to tell us? Because what the people need now is action. We want a governor that will prioritize the powering of Edo State, not just Benin City. There are communities there that have built electricity for more than 10 years, more than 15 years, more than 20 years. How long are we going to remain in the darkness? So I think it's high time Edo State government, led by Monday Okpebholo, sit up and light up Edo, because we have more revenue coming from the federal allocation. So it's high time Edo people money work for Edo people.
That's what it should be at the moment. So where there is a problem, there should be a solution. So that is the essence of this program, and that is what we are here to do. So we are not here to brag, or we're not here for any political witch hunting. We say it the way it is, and also to ensure that we make government, or rather we hold government accountable, and also engage them. That's what we're doing. This is all about civic engagement. So there's nothing more to it. So what we're doing here is strictly for the betterment of the society. It's for public good and nothing more. So thank you, our viewers, for holding on to this time. I say a big, in fact, a big thank you. And until next week, we say bye for now.